If you don't know which hero pairs will be amazing for Season of Stripe 6 in open field, this video will be perfect for you because we are going to discuss the best hero pairs for every single troop type in the game. So you guys will be ready for the future season and I will be ready for the future season. We have 4 troop types in our game and we're gonna discuss every single one of them, right? The first troop type which we're gonna discuss is of course infantry. Let's start with the infantry, right? We have done the similar videos before and we have said many times that Goresh and Skogul was the #1 hero pair for infantry even after introduction of Danfel and Mogro, right? But finally, infantry got something even better than Goresh and Skogul, and that's of course Kuma and Lake 1, right? Kuma is pretty unique hero for infantry because he doesn't really have a lot of defensive stat. He has a lot of healing and life drain, right? Which is life drain is basically healing also, right? So since Kuma and Lake 1 gonna attach to one march which gonna deal damage to, you're gonna life drain, you're gonna heal, and that's how you're gonna get a lot of merits from the infantry hero pair whenever you are fighting in open field, right? And of course, if you want to run Kuma and Lake 1 in open field, I would suggest you to go for a Kuma as a primary hero and Lake 1 as a secondary, right? It doesn't really mean you have to go for the support talent trees for this march. You can easily go infantry and half support or PvP and support, right? Basically really versatile hero and really good one if you want to be tanky and also if you want to get some merits as an infantry player. Plus, since you're gonna awaken Kuma and Lake 1, you're gonna have amazing rally hero pair also. You just have to just swap the heroes. You're gonna put Lake 1 as a primary hero and Kuma as a secondary hero, right? Pretty easy to understand why. Lake 1 really has the rally talents in his play kit, right? We're gonna speak about artifact. Of course, we all know that Spiritbone Torque have been the best artifact for infantry players, but Serpent's Edge, the new artifact for Kuma and Lake 1, infantry unit attack, legion defense, unit attack because you're gonna life drain a lot of HP, which is basically also a secondary stat for the Kuma, and for the skill you're gonna get a lot of HP and deal damage every 3 seconds, right? And the additional effect also gives us some additional HP, which is one of the best buffs in Call of Dragons, not only for infantry but also I believe for every single troop type in the game. So best in slot artifact for this hero pair is of course Serpent's Edge, right? And of course we have to speak regarding warpets. I believe the best warpet for this hero pair is the Mozrok, which came out together as the new hero pair. But if you don't gonna have Mozrok, Mozrok is great because Mozrok also has HP buffs, which is synergizes well with the Kuma and Lake 1, and that's simply because that's the reason why it's best in slot. But it doesn't really mean you can't use something else, such as the Venomous Lizard for the tanks. You can even use Bruin Bear, you can even use Moon Bear. Basically, tank infantry warpets are great, but since we are talking about best in slot everything, I believe Mozrok should be the choice. HP buffs are going really well for Kuma and Lake 1, right? And really surprising that the infantry finally got something new, right? Yeah, that's it for infantry. We have to mention that if the Kuma and Lake 1 is the best one, it doesn't really mean that Goresh and Skogul is the bad one. They are also good. It means that infantry finally have 2 amazing hero pairs with the Kuma Lake 1 and Goresh and Skogul, right? Even for the free-to-play players, more diversity for infantry hero pairs is amazing because now it's actually worth it to be infantry main in Call of Dragons, right? So by that, we're gonna roll another page and we're gonna go for the cavalry heroes and cavalry players. And here we have a lot of heroes which are some epic ones, some legendary ones. Cavalry is the unique troop type in the game which is using epic heroes as a legendary, right? Because you have to run 4 or 5 marches, synced up speed, that's when you get highest value. Of course, you can always go for a 1 march cavalry hero pairs, but I believe in order for you to get full cavalry gameplay, you have to have multiple marches, right? Even with multiple marches, even with the solo gameplay, I believe Urag and Tobin is still the best cavalry hero pairs in the game. Urag for more damage with the skill talent trait, Tobin for more defensive stats and more survivability, more tankiness. And of course, tank talent tree also works with these intentions, right? That's more of a universally great hero pair for cavalry players. And for the artifacts, it goes same. You have to sync up the march speed. If you are not doing that, I believe every single cavalry artifact is great, right? Spring Blades is amazing. Wolf Whole Horn is amazing. Storm Arrows, Wolf Woman of Hailor. Basically, whatever you are using well will be great for the cavalry marches, right? And war pets are kind of same. Blade Manticore. Also, we're gonna have the new cavalry warpit, which is, I always forgot the name, Hound. That's also a good warpit for the cavalry. Yeah, Auric Warhound is also nice. But in terms of best in slot, I believe Golden Rock Blade Manticore is great, right? Those two are best in slot for the cavalry players. And also, if we are speaking about like solo gameplay, Neya and Lie with the camouflage gameplay can be really fun, which we have to mention, right? That's the only hero pair in the game with the help of the artifact, which can have a lot of fun in Call of Dragons with the solo gameplay. But if enemy is actually cautious and they look at the map, it's really easy to actually catch them. But still, I believe there is a lot of AFK players in the game, and you can easily get a lot of merits by running Neya and Lie together with Lunaris as an artifact for the camouflage gameplay. Let's go here. Yeah, for Lunaris, basically, yeah. Legions gain haste while camouflaged for like more camouflage buffs. That's also a great choice, right? But if we're gonna speak mainly about like all around the best cavalry hero pair, I believe Urag and Tobin is still the best one with Golden Rock or Blade Manticore. And for the artifacts, we have variety of artifact choices which can work on a multiple one, right? We have to mention, if you want to be full cavalry main, you have to have multiple marches, synced up march speed, because they have to be running around with the same march speed to have a full and same impact. Or maybe if you want single gameplay, I believe still Urag and Tobin would be a great choice. Just a little bit more fun with the Neya and Lei with the camouflage. That's it for cavalry, right? So yeah, it's a second troop type. Which we actually spoke already, and we can easily move to the Marksman, which is my main troop type. I have been Archer main for more than 900 days of Call of Dragons gameplay, and yeah, I believe I know a lot of stuff about Archers, right? Here we have multiple Archer heroes, even like G4, Falgrim and Sibyl. But if we are speaking about the best Archer hero pair which you can have in open field PvP, that's of course still Magrat and Zaida, right? Even after Falgrim and Sibyl, I believe Magrat and Zaida at least doubles the amount of merits which you can get if we are comparing to other Archer hero pairs, right? Simply because a lot of damage, no rage skill, which means every single second you are dealing a lot of damage. Healing, which also gives merits in Call of Dragons, which is great. A lot of survivability, and all the skills are passive skills, which means you are not losing a single second. All you do is to go there and deal damage, right? Now, Margaret's build is minimum 555, Zaida's build is Awakening. Of course, I'm using Precision Talent Tree. I really like Mighty Slash, because counter-attack damage is also a normal attack damage. Which is great. And yeah, this is, I believe, this have been the best archer hero pair since the release of this tool. Next heroes should be archers, and I'm really interested if the new archers will be at least on the same page or even better than Magrat and Zaida, right? For the artifact, best artifact for archers in general, I believe, Gilded Crossbow, because of the HP bypass, and in general, I think for damage dealer troops such as mages and archers, HP bypass is great skill to have. Because during the wars you have mainly infantry as your target because they are rushing towards you, and you are getting a lot more merits if you are bypassing their HP, right? And since Kuma and Lake 1 HP buffs are even higher, you're gonna have even more value with the HP bypass skills in Call of Dragons. So, Guarded Crossbow should be the best in slot artifact for them. And for the Warped, Shadow Manticore, which is the great one for dealing damage and healing. And of course, this is my Shadow Manticore, which I'm really proud of. Finally managed to get 3-star Barbarism, and since I'm rating healing a lot, that's the reason why I'm using Advanced Chain Strike, plus I have high agility, right? Maybe in the future somehow I will make my luck S tier, it would be great, but if not, I think it's a good enough Warped. So if you guys are trying to have a perfect Warped for Magrat and Zaida, Shadow Manticore with the Chain Strike synergy, with some Blood Roar, with some Total Declaw, of course, depends, the skills always depends on attributes, so depends what kind of attributes you are equipping on your Warped, you're gonna make the skills in a way that you're gonna have higher value, right? So for Magrat and Zaida, which is the best archer hero pair in the game for open field PvP, Shadow Manticore is the best choice for Warpeds, right? And this basically finishes our talks about archers, and we can easily move through the mages, right? And for the mages, we have amazing news, because for a while, best mage hero pair was Moose Young and Thea with Celestials. It was the best one in terms of survivability, in terms of dealing damage, and all around gameplay. They were doing the highest amount of damage out of any mage hero pairs, which was really awkward because both of the heroes are of course overall heroes, and it was really awkward to say that they are the best mage hero pair, right? But finally, developers of the game listened to the players, and finally we are getting the best mage hero pair, which is Yunming and Gromara, right? Well, if we are speaking about open field PvP gameplay, we have to speak about Yunming, which is, I believe, the same style of hero, but for mages as Magrat and Zaida is for archers, right? And similarities are pretty simple. For Yunming, every single skill is passive skill, which means we are not wasting our time to generate rage. We are just standing there dealing damage. It kind of feels like we are dealing damage with the normal attack, but no, we are sending like small missiles for multiple targets, and they are doing all the job, right? So basically, finally, we get the perfect hero pair for mage gameplay, who deal damage to multiple targets, whose main idea is not to heal, whose main idea is not to shield, but his main idea and their main idea is to get as much offensive buffs and to deal damage as much as possible, right? So if you are looking for the mage hero pair, which you want to generate at least kind of same amount of merits as Magrat and Zaida for archers, Yunming and Gromara should be your choice, right? For the building of this hero, I believe you have to awaken Yunming and you have to awaken Gromara. Why not, right? You guys finally got the amazing hero bear, which is generating a lot of merits for archers, because nobody really liked Bertrand, nobody really liked Thalia or Thandalin, right? People liked them because there wasn't a better choice, let's be honest, right? It was pretty simple to understand. Lilia was the best magic mage hero for a while for mages, which is the basic hero, right? It's really bad if you are looking forward to it, right? Finally, Yunming and Gromara is here, and you guys should invest in this hero pair if you are mages, right? For the artifact for Yunming, because I believe Yunming should be primary hero, Dragon's Fate is the perfect artifact with the debuff, with the buff, with the damage dealt increase. Of course, full offensive artifact, which also deals damage to 5 enemy legions, right? 5 enemy legions, not that really hard to actually deal damage to 5 enemies at the same time, because AoE is pretty big, you can see by the skill. And for the Warpath, Flaming Manticore is the choice. Basically, this Warpath feels like the Infantry Destroyer. Let me show you. The newest Warpath in the game, of course, is the Flaming Manticore, which I believe might be dealing the highest damage to melee targets especially, but not only, right? So if you are looking forward to best in slot artifact for mages, that's Dragon's Fate. Best in slot hero pairs for mages, that's Yunming and Gromara. And best in slot Warpath for mages, that's Flaming Manticore. They are basically full damage, right? They are basically full damage, which I believe almost every single mage player always wanted, right? Because we already got healing, we got shielding, but finally we got something which is as offensive as Lilia, maybe even more, right? So nice, congrats to all mages, you guys got finally what you always wanted, right? Of course, the next heroes are the archers, and I'm really excited what kind of archer heroes we are going to get. I wish we're gonna get better than Magrat and Zaida. It would be amazing, because we're gonna have 2 OP hero pairs for archer gameplay, right? So yeah, give me the ideas what kind of heroes there will be. Will they have healing, normal attackers, skill users, or what type of heroes they will be? I'm really interested. So far, I believe for Season of Strife 6, which is Age of Duality, these are the best open field hero pairs for this season. And yeah, as always, if you liked the video, press like, subscribe, share. It always gives me more and more motivation to make more content for this game. I wish everybody amazing day, morning and night. We are going to see each other really soon. Bye bye and good luck.